Hello, dear students. Welcome you all to the online series of lectures for microeconomics. And today's topic is elasticity of demand. In this module, we have already learned what is demand schedule, and what is demand curve. And then we have seen the law of demand. And after that, exceptions of law of demand we have already discussed. And today we are going to discuss a very important topic for this unit is elasticity of demand. So in previous lectures, we have learned that the demand of any product is depend on various factors. So those factors was price, income, substitute product or complementary product or advertisement, etc. So now under elasticity, what we see the responsiveness of the quantity of a good. It means how the quantity demanded for a good changes because of various factors which depends on which the demand depends. Like if the price of a product is changing, how the quantity demand will change with respect to that change. Or if the income is changing or advertisement expenditure is changing or the price of substitute or complementary goods are changing, then how these changes are going to affect the quantity demanded for a particular product. That is called our elasticity. Now, the definition we can read here. The elasticity of demand measures the response of the demand for a commodity to change in price. It is the definition of price elasticity of demand. It means if the price of any commodity is changing, then with respect to that price change, how much the quantity demand is changing. So price elasticity of demand is the percentage change in quantity demanded divided by the percentage change in price. So formula we can see here. The formula of price elasticity of demand is percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. Very simple it is. Here we are checking that if the price, we can also define this definition. Like if the price change, percentage change in price is 1 unit, then with respect to that 1 unit change or 1% change in your prices, how the quantity demand changes. It will be your price elasticity of demand. So now we have learned that demand curve is downward sloping. So we can measure a price elasticity at a particular point as well as for a stretch of, we can say for a stretch. Okay. So let's see first of all the formula. Let's see first the curve. Okay. So demand curve is this. Okay. So in this curve, I will teach you about the point as well as arc elasticity. Okay. So point elasticity is when we are calculating the price elasticity at a particular point itself. Let's say at point A only. Okay. So at a certain point, the change in price will be very small. So I already teach you, like already I taught you that for small change we use the symbol delta. Okay. So at a point the price change will be very small as well as the quantity change will also be very small. So to measure the or to identify this small change, we use delta symbol. And when we are saying arc elasticity, that time we are measuring the elasticity for a stretch. Let's say we are measuring the elasticity between A and B. So for these 2 points, we can measure actually what is the quantity demanded and what was earlier, as well as price change also we can measure from this point, like for A 0.4 and B 0.3. So here we can actually measure the change properly, but at point it will be very small, so we use delta symbol. Now we will go to our slide, this one. So point definition, I think it is, I hope it will be clear for you. Point elasticity means when we are calculating the elasticity of demand at a particular point. Okay, so let's say now what is the formula for elasticity of demand? Percentage change in quantity divided by percentage change in price. So how to calculate the percentage? The change divided by the original value multiplied by 100 divided by the change in price divided by original price into 100. So 100 and 100 will cancel out. So we will have delta Q over Q divided by delta P over P. So if we will simplify it, we will get this formula EP equals to delta Q over delta P into P over Q. So this is the point definition of elasticity. Now let's see what is arc definition. So arc definition, I told you, let's say we are calculating the elasticity of demand for a particular arc, that stretch A and B. I was discussing with you just 2-3 minutes before. So arc definition, like Q2, the same formula we are using. How it is coming? The change in prices will be Q2 minus Q1 divided by the original Q2 plus Q1 divided by P2 minus P1 over P2 plus P1. So when you will simplify, you will get this formula. Same like here we discussed, similarly we are doing here also. Now let's see what what will be the elasticity for inelastic demand. So what is inelastic demand? Means the demand which is free from price change. Okay, let's see. Here the prices are increasing for 4 to 5, but demand is not changing. The quantity demand is same for any price. Okay, even the price is 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever price increase you are doing, its quantity demanded is not changing. Okay, so it is called inelastic demand curve, and it is parallel to your y-axis, you can see here. So if you will calculate the elasticity of demand, you apply the formula this formula Q2 minus Q1. So you will see that 100 minus 100 will be 0. So numerator will be 0. So automatically the elasticity of demand will be 0 for inelastic demand curves. Okay, it is hypothetical, means actually if you will see in real world, that this scenario is very rare, that any products demand curve is this vertical. Okay, but in economics we discuss these type of curve also. So every company wants a demand curve like this, so that they can increase the price up to any limit, but the quantity demand will be same. Okay, so this is inelastic demand curve. Or remember these curves very carefully, because when we will discuss your 5th module, where we will discuss the price output relation for different kinds of markets, there it will be of use. So that time I will ask you again these concepts. So remember, for inelastic demand curves, the elasticity will be 0. Next we will move. Next slide, just give me 1 second, some technical error is there. So next slide, we are going to discuss the inelastic demand. Elasticity is less than 1. The previous one was perfectly inelastic, means it is just vertical. Okay, perfectly inelastic. Now we are discussing inelastic demand. So you can see here the curve is not parallel to the y-axis, but it is very steep. Okay, so here you see when we are Just give me 1 second. Yeah. So initially at this point, okay, at this point A, let's say this point is A, the prices were 4 and quantity demand was 100. Now the prices increased to 5, okay. From here to here it changes, the quantity demand decreased, okay. So earlier it was 100, now it is 90. So if you will calculate this, apply the formula, you calculate it, you will get elasticity of demand less than 1. So we can say that for inelastic demands, the elasticity is less than 1. It means the change in prices is more, okay, but the quantity change is lesser. So this is also a demand curve which is desired by different companies, okay, because they can increase the price, but that percentage of change in price is not, you will not see the same percentage change in quantity. So price change will be more, but quantity change will be lesser. Third one is unit elasticity demand, okay. So this curve, you can see it is a little bit flat, okay. So for unit elasticity demand, the elasticity equals to 0. So let me explain with that. So if you are changing price by some percentage, you can see that same change will be there in the quantity also, okay. So if you are increasing, let's say by 22% price change is happening, then in quantity also the same percentage of change you will see. So we can see that unit elasticity demand, so elasticity equals to 0. Next we will discuss elastic demand. Okay, so curve, you see it is going more flat. So from this curve itself you can see at point A the prices were 4 and quantity demand was 100. Now you have increased the price by to 5. So you see that when you are increasing the price, the quantity change is huge for your elastic demand curve, okay. So these curves or the goods which follows such kind of demand curves, the price change could be very very risky thing for a marketers. If they are increasing the price, the quantity change or the quantity demanded is very less with certain percent change in price. So the marketers need to make the price decisions very carefully. Here you see that when you are changing prices by 22%, here the 67% quantity demand is decreasing. So it is very very risky condition. So for this types of curve, elastic demand curve, elasticity is greater than 1. And the last case is perfectly elastic demand curve. You can see that the demand curve is parallel to your x-axis. For these things, it means at any certain price you can sell any quantity. For these kind of elastic curves, for these kind of demand curves, the elasticity will be equals to infinity. In actual scenario or real life scenario, it is hypothetical. We can't, we don't have any good which follow this kind of condition. Now we have learned what was price elasticity, point elasticity, arc elasticity we have learned, and price elasticity we was discussing how the change in price are going to affect the quantity demanded. Now similarly we can discuss here under income elasticity how the change in income is going to affect the quantity demanded. It will be your elasticity of income, okay. So the degree of responsiveness of the demand for a commodity to change in the income of the consumer. It means when the income is changing, how the change in income is going to affect the quantity demanded. It will be your income elasticity. So it is defined as a ratio of percentage change in the quantity demanded of a commodity to the percentage change in the income of the consumer. So formula is same, just in place of price, income is coming here. So EY equals to percentage change in the quantity demanded divided by percentage change in the income of the consumer. So formula will be same. Okay, you see here same with the same method, point definition and arc definition. At a certain point we can identify what is income elasticity. So change in quantity over original quantity divided by change in income over original income. You simplify it, you will get this formula. Similarly, for our arc A and B, we can find out Q2 minus Q1 divided by Q1 plus Q2 divided by I2 minus I1 divided by I2 plus I1, and simplify it, you will get this definition, this formula. Okay, so income elasticity, we can discuss the four cases here. Income elasticity will be negative with the inferior commodities. It means when the income will inferior means the people cheap goods, we can see that, okay, which are very cheap. So when the income will increase, obviously the people will move to the products which are of good quality and which give them more utility. So what will happen as a result? When the income increases, the inferior goods will be less desired by the customers, so their income elasticity will be negative. Neutral commodities means which are required, which are neutral, okay, not luxurious, not inferior, so their income elasticity will be zero. It means when your income will increase, its quantity demand will not be affected. Income elasticity is greater than zero but less than 1 for the normal commodities, and greater than unit for the luxurious commodities. Now, this cross elasticity and advertisement elasticity we will discuss in the next lecture, because if I will teach you more than that, you will get confused. So for today's lecture, price elasticity of demand and income elasticity of demand was enough. If you have some queries, any confusion, you can contact me over your WhatsApp group. I will solve your queries there. Thank you so much for listening to the video. Thanks.